at the beginning of every single travel there is in business, in education, in our private life starts with switching on electricity. That capacity to have infinite supply of electricity is under threat because we naively, or rather the politician naively, thought that we could get to all these future dates that they keep talking about, 2030, 2040, 2050, and of course it's either no combustion engine in 2030 or zero carbon emission in 2050. And I don't know how they expected this to happen magically, coming from a fossil energy dependency towards this replacement of baseload energy coming all of a sudden renewable energy, which any engineer who's on the first semester knows is not how it works and not how it's going to work. So for me, energy is and remains the biggest concern, because we across Europe, and I spent a fair bit of time in Europe recently, everyone thinks the energy crisis is over. And even worse, politicians and central bankers is telling me that inflation will go back to 2.5%. And I have to ask, how? Magically? Like, is someone going to take their magic wand and make sure it comes down? Last time I checked, PPI in Europe was running at 40%. Last time I checked, European CPI overall was running above 10%. Going from 10 to 2 means that we're going to have a dramatic recession. And again, recession with full employment, consumer spending being massive, negative real rates, and extremely easy financial conditions, certainly when we talk about Europe, but also the US. I've done this job for 30 years. I've never seen people so hopeful, so praying for something to be happening. And what they want to happen is that we go back to lower interest rates to save the world. And I'm going to ask you, how's that going to save the world? We come from the lowest productivity, which is reflected in the negative real rates. We come from society which on the social side is getting more unequal. And we want to go back to that? I mean, are we masochist, or are we stupid, or a little bit of both? I mean, we need to figure out how to deal with the energy translation in a, for nature, good way to do it. We need to invest in productivity. We need to invest in real people. We need to invest in the real economy. As we sit here today, 90% of all assets in the world are intangibles. And let's just define intangible. That is empty air. It is a concept. It is so-called intellectual property. It is the value of what you think, goodwill, knowledge of what you have. And 10% is the real economy. And then people are surprised, we have inflation. Yes, when you only have 10% producing to the 90% who are full of aspiration of digitization, which due to the enormous amount of data storage they need to do, is becoming like 20% of the electricity consumption. So whatever we do, we are either increasing the constraints on the energy sector, the mining sector, or on the electricity supply. Of course we're going to have inflation. Of course we need to change the tectonic plates. And the worst thing can happen is that what the equity investors is looking for is 2.5 inflation, negative productivity, and central banks that just continue to print money. If that happens, I'm going to retire, and I may even contemplate ending my life early.